show tonight, the pound for pound #1 in the world, Luis Palomino. Apologies for everything that happened there, technical difficulties, but we got there in the end with a champ. How you doing, Louis, mate? You all right, pal?
Yes, sir. Doing good, man. Hey, we're on now.
Apologies about that, mate. Apologies. You're all good though, mate, yeah?
Yes, sir. We're good to go.
Good, man. What's been happening since your last outing with James Lilly?
Man, since we fought Lily, well, I underwent 3 surgeries after that fight. I don't know if you heard of the whole, how the organization, Mr. Feldman, felt about the fight and whatnot, and people took it, I'm a very honest person, man. You know what I mean? And sometimes I can get you in trouble. You know what I mean? Like I speak the truth, but I speak what I think. You know what I mean? I don't filter myself. I've always taught my son since he was very little. A man that lies about anything is just simply in fear of something. You know what I mean? I just don't roll like that. But basically, what happened, man, is the way that I expressed myself after the fight was a way to not shitting on Lily. You know what I mean? Like not making it look like, oh man, I just think about it. I grab the microphone and I'm like, hey, well, I just beat the 8-0 guy, #1 contender with one arm. I'm gonna sound like an asshole when I'm gonna make my opponent look like shit. You know what I mean? It's not the right thing to do, But the truth is the truth, and I kind of kept the truth a little bit away. I hurt my hand. I fractured that knuckle in the Tom Schultz hand 5 months prior to the fight, and I hurt my hand about a week and a day, something like that, about 6-7 days prior to the fight. I hit an elbow, and I hurt, I hit it right in the spot, man. I didn't have no complications during the whole camp. I had a full camp. I had no problems until the week before the fight that I landed right on the ankle, right on the elbow. The pain was real, but I didn't tell nobody, nothing to nobody. Only my trainer and I knew, and my wife kind of noticed it, but I wouldn't tell her. I wouldn't complain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on a Wednesday before the weigh-ins, I was hitting mitts, bare knuckle, and I throw that uppercut, blah, and I'm thinking, I'm okay, right? And boom, and that pain is like, it was real pain, man. You know what I mean? Like I messed it up, It was too fresh. Yeah. So I took a cortisol shot, and I took the cortisol shot on Thursday after the weigh-ins, man. You know what I mean? Like, it was Wednesday or Thursday. You know what I mean? It was too early. That didn't kick in till Sunday. You know what I mean? So it's like, it didn't do nothing for me, But I'm the main event. I sell a shitload of tickets over here at home, I had, sponsors on the line. I'm the main event. Like, I can't just pull out of this fight, So I say, what, I'm going to do this, I kept it quiet so that people don't get in my head, because people will put their fear in you, like, oh, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do it? Like, I don't, don't worry about me, man. I worry about myself. So I just kept it quiet. We went through with it, and we basically did the fight on one arm. And the proof is in the pudding, right? I tore my labrum, and I destroyed that knuckle. I'm not gonna lie to you. That knuckle was already bothering me a little bit, but I really hurt it this time to the point that I had to do surgery and fix it. So I fixed the knuckle, I fixed the shoulder, and the biggest reason, apart from the knee, I have a bad knee from MMA. I have a torn MCL and a partial PCL tear. The biggest reason why I retired from MMA, apart from the knee, was the toe that I called the toe of hell. That it was immobile with bone fragments stuck inside the joints. So I said, you know what? I spoke to the doctor, said, hey, can we do all this in one day? And the doctor said, you know what? I have a colleague, Dr. Caban. My doctor, my hand specialist is Dr. Badia. So, I have my colleague, Dr. Caban. We can work together. We can work something out. So I did 3 surgeries in one day. That was about 4 months ago. And I've been training for about 6-7 weeks now. I feel great. The recovery's been great. The toe, there's still pain in there. The shoulder, the knuckle, no complaints. But the toe of hell, man, it's always going to be the toe of hell. I'm on top of the toe, man. I can't get off of it. You know what I mean? So we're still dealing with that. But it's not stopping me from training. I can't run. I can't do sprints and I can't run. But, hey, I've conditioned through swimming, air. There's many ways of different doing things, so we would be ready, regardless when it's time to be ready.
Yeah, it sounds like nothing as well, doesn't it, when you say your toe, but you use your toe for everything, don't you?
Say it again.
I'm saying like it sounds like nothing when you say your toe, but you use your toe for everything what you do.
For everything you're standing on it, man. So it's like, I'm dealing with this pain because I'm just not getting off. Come on, you know how fighters are, man. I don't want to stay
Yeah.
still, you know. But to my toes defense, when I have the boxing shoes on already and I'm actually boxing, it's the same pain I had before the surgery that I can deal with. So it's not stopping me from nothing. It's not slowing me
Yeah.
down. I just deal with the pain, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just, I just gotta let it heal, I guess.
So what is it that you're wanting next? Because I know that you're wanting like a big fight now, aren't you? Like which I believe you deserve. Like who is it that you're wanting though?
So that was the whole thing. When I grabbed the mic, that was part of the truth. I like you said, I more than have earned the right to get one of the so-called big names that BKFC keeps bringing in and giving the fat checks to. You know what I mean? Look, even the Juggernaut has gotten some UFC heads for him to take care of. Uh, you know, you know, even the cut man has gotten a YouTuber. You know what I mean? Like, what about the number one pound for pound? You know what I mean? I'm over here with my hand raised, taking all challenges. I'm the champion challenging people, man. I mean, how many champions do you hear coming out on videos challenging people, stepping up 2 weight classes, 3 weight classes above, trying to get a big name? I challenged Thiago Alves for the 175-pound title that I was never aiming at, only because he wouldn't accept to fight me at 170. This is between us and the DMs, right? He said, hey, I respect the respectful, I appreciate the respectful call out, but, fighting you at 170 does something for me because I'm fighting 175. I said, okay, I'll fight you at 175. You know what I mean? And we were in negotiations for that fight. And then, Malky that manages him and managing Yuli Monster. And, he double dipped and he just put his guys to fight each other and, bumped me out of the conversation. And now I'm sitting here like, chasing Chad Mendes for an entire year, man. I mean, like, what else do I have to do? Like the guy came in, he did his debut. I called Dave Feldman. I said, hey, what's up? When do I get this guy? I said, hey, let him get his feet wet, right? We got his feet wet. And now he disappears for an entire year because he does not want to face my own year. Gifted him a title fight, man. You know what I mean? And he doesn't want it because he does not believe that he can take it. So he goes into hiding for a year, comes back only to fight Eddie Alvarez because Eddie Alvarez also does not want to fight me. And this is people on my weight class. You know what I mean? So now I'm over here, like, once again, having to step up. And I know that Mike Perry is not a pussy like those two guys. You know what I mean? I know that Mike Perry is a warrior plus. I'm the small guy. I did a face-off with him just the other day over there at the yeah, and in the face-off, he's like, you're a lightweight. Like, yeah, but I hit hard as fuck, and I'm real fat. So, but all respect, to Platinum Man. He's a super cool dude, man. He's a family man like I am. And as crazy and nutty as he is, he's a cool dude. He's a very, very, very straight dude, you know what I mean? And he's not one to duck from anything, So I took advantage there while I had him there with Feldman, and I went up to Dave Feldman and I told Perry in front of Mr. Feldman, I told Perry, hey, I'm gonna be a replacement for you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be a replacement for you because I don't believe this place is going to show up. And he said the same thing. He says, I don't believe that he's going to show up either. He says, as a matter of fact, I believe that you're a way tougher fight than Eddie Alvarez, in his own words, in front of David Feldman. You know what I mean? And I understand, this is a bigger person and whatnot, but what else am I supposed to do? You signed the guys in my weight class. They do not want to see me. They hide behind their fame because I don't have the following they have, so they hide behind that. Yet they want to collect a bigger check than I'm collecting, right? But you don't want to face the best. You don't want the title shot. I mean, Eddie Alvarez, for God's sake, man. Bellator champion, UFC champion. You go to all the way across the world to Japan to try to collect gold in ONE FC. You weren't successful, and I guess that might have messed up his pride or something. I'm gifting him a title shot again, and he's like crickets. They brought the mic to him when I fought, and I had called him out after my last fight with Lily, and he's like, oh, that fight was shit, and he just runs away he's just hiding behind himself. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I get it. Like with the title part, like if you're in the organization, surely that's your main goal to get a title.
I'm gifting it to them. You know what I mean? They're coming in, and the only reason why I'm doing that is not just because of the name, because Chad Mendes was, I'm a fan. I was a fan of Chad Mendes.
Yeah, of course.
Fan of Eddie Alvarez. I can still say that I'm still a fan of Chad Mendes. At least Chad Mendes, we've had some communications where at least he keeps respect for, But Eddie Alvarez, all respect for this guy, man. This guy doesn't have a dog fighter in him no more. He's only collecting checks. Look at the weigh-ins today. If you saw the weigh-ins today with Mike Perry, the dude's vagina is sweating, dripping all over. You know what I mean? Because he's nervous as hell about what's about to happen to him. How in the hell do you think, right? You go and you get knocked down twice by a 145-pounder. No matter what weight class you're fighting him in the UFC, he was a 145-pounder. You were a 155-pounder. And he knocked you down twice. And now you want to come and face Platinum Mike Perry? Come on, man. When Perry puts his paws on him, he's going to take him out. I believe the only reason why he's doing that is because, for one, hey, if I lose to Palomino, I really lost because it's my weight class. But if I lose to Mike Perry, he's the bigger guy. It won't look as bad. That's what. Let me just collect this check and right off to the sunset, just like Chad Mendes did. You know what I mean? So I'm over here like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, is it? Are they getting? Do you reckon they're getting big money like Eddie Alvarez and that?
Oh, I've heard some. Yeah, they're getting paid, man. Oh yes, they're getting paid. They're getting paid. Yes,
Crazy.
Good insight. They're getting paid. Definitely a whole lot more than me. Yeah.
Yeah, you want, like, obviously going off that, you want fighters fighting for the company who've got passion and like true love for the sport and wanting to carry the belt and be proud to be the champion and that. Do you know what I mean?
But the only fighters that do that, my brother, is fighters that believe that they can obtain that title and yet again retain that title when it's time to defend it. You know what I mean? But I believe it's not there, man. They don't believe they can beat me. Period. That's the issue here.
Yeah. So are you just going to hold out now until you do get that big fight?
Oh man, I have a family to feed, and I have the clock is ticking for me, man. I'm 43 years old. Look, don't get me wrong when I mention my age. I feel great. I feel very good. I am not slowing down. You can see it in every fight that I show. I am not slowing down. If anything, I'm improving. I'm a student of life, man. I love learning. You know what I mean? I'm not going away. These guys are all like quiet and sitting around, thinking that I'm going to go away, and they're going to come now when I go away and try to capture that title. I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm going to be here for a long minute. So to answer the question properly, man, I'm not picking and choosing who I'm fighting, but I will say it again. I am only interested in the biggest name possible. For me right now, that's either Mike Perry or because I don't even believe, let's say that for some divine reason, Eddie Alvarez, outstrikes Mike Perry. Because look, in reality, I think that Eddie has the better boxing skills than Perry. But Perry has the dog and is a better boxer for real. He's proven that. So I don't see Eddie passing through that. But hey, this is a fight. You never know how it goes. You know what I mean? You never know how it goes. So let's just say Eddie Alvarez wins. I do not believe he defends that belt. I believe he retires. He does not defend the belt because I want the winner of that. You know what I mean? I want the winner of that. Yes, I have a spot here waiting to fill in. You know what I mean?
I just shared it on my story earlier, the picture of your wall, and there's some fights on that wall, isn't there?
Oh yes. Yeah. The bottom 4 belts are my MMA history, in the smaller organizations. I became champion 4 times, 145-pound twice, 155-pound twice. And in BKFC, as we know, 155, 165. But we have a little spot up there holding out for another belt.
Yeah, quality. And I tell you what would have been a min fight to see in the BKFC. Obviously, it had never happened because he's still in the UFC and that, but a trilogy fight with Justin Gaethje.
Oh my goodness, that would be
imagine that, mate, in the BKFC, you and Justin Gaethje.
That would be a dream come true, man. I mean,
massive that.
Yeah, I don't know how long he's gonna stick around in the UFC. I believe that Gaethje is aiming to get that gold and prove his point. And I'm not sure if he'll stick around long after that. We don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if there'll be time enough by the time he decides to come over. If I'm still going to be around, we don't know. But that would be a dream fight. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems the type of guy who'll be up for the bare knuckle fighting and that, doesn't he?
That dude was born to bare knuckle box, man. That guy's a dog right there, man. Much respect to KG, 100%.
Yeah, so some of the best MMA fights I've seen between you two, like absolute legends of fights. But with the future as well, obviously I had Tony Soto on the show earlier. He's ranked #1 in the 155-pound division. Is that a fight that obviously you won't be looking at right now?
Talking about Tony Pussy Soto? Is that what you...
Tony Soto, yeah.
Not interested at all in that guy. Even the president told him after his fight where Good John Tornado got robbed. He did not win that fight. Okay? And even the president admitted that to the point where he said he's not ready for a title shot yet. And he knows it. That's why he didn't get a title shot. And he just did another fight because of that. And he did a fight against who? He hasn't even fought a top 5. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to tell me that he deserves a title shot because he's 5-0? 5-0 against who? You know what I mean? Now, if he wants to earn a title shot, there's only 2 ways that I would agree to a title shot with this guy. And it would be give Tornado his rematch and earn your win for real, right? And if for some reason, Tornado, doesn't get a fight in BKFC again or whatnot, then go through James Lilly because he's the real #1 contender right there. You know what I mean? Because I don't count Soto, man. I'm sorry. I really don't count that clown. I don't. I'm not interested in him. I'm not interested in anybody in the roster other than Eddie Alvarez and Mike Perry for the simple reason of their following. That's what I'm after. Look, we already understand the business outlook of BKFC, where we bring in these big names with the following to bring the eyes. We have those eyes. We did that. We have this. Now you have, the organization, BKFC, bare knuckle boxer made fighters, champions. The Juggernaut, Christine Ferreira, myself, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have legit talent in here now. So, it's about time we make these people that are asking for all this money, right? Come and earn it. You know what I mean? Because now, let's say we get Eddie Alvarez against Palomino, right? And let's say he beats Palomino. What do you have? You have a former Bellator, former UFC champion that became your champion. Now, in the other hand, he doesn't beat me. I beat him. Who did I beat?
The BKFC champions beat the UFC champion.
BKFC made champion beats the UFC former champion. Isn't that good for business?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, mate. I totally agree with you. It's like even some of the fighters who fight for the BKFC don't think these UFC stars should be getting the shot to fight for the title straight away. Like you said, go through the rankings like the other fighters do. Fair enough. Get a bit more of an extra push because of the following and help them build the platform. But they shouldn't be turning down fucking world title fights, man.
Man, story of my life, brother.
I do think Mike Perry will, but it won't be. You wouldn't be able to fight at 165, would you? Would he be able to fight for the belt at 165?
No. When I brought the conversation to Feldman, he the first thing he told me is like, look, Perry's not going under 175. That's what I'm okay. Okay. So history repeats itself. Where I said, okay, I'll go 175 for that person, for that individual. And now you done brought candy to the kid now because it's like, I'm the belt collector, man. And now you created another belt. You know what I mean? The King of Violence belt, we're going to call it the participation belt because it will have no legitimacy until somebody like myself, somebody like the Juggernaut, one of our champions is in that contention. Until one of us steps into that fight, that belt doesn't mean anything. There's no validation to that belt. As of right now, it's a participation belt. You know what I mean? And when they defend it, if they defend it, that's when it becomes something. And that belt comes right here to this collection.
Yeah, but they said on the press conference today it's just going to be a one-off fight. The belt won't be getting defended or anything. It's just a one-off fight.
Oh, my God. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Babe, you heard this? I'm sorry, man. It just
Yeah,
gives
just like the belt's just going to be a one-off belt.
man. I don't get it. It gets worse. It gets worse. Like you already created the belt.
To be fair, it's a sick belt as well, isn't it?
Man, but look, man, look. Jesus Christ, man. That shit really pissed me off, man. You know what I mean? Like, look, you creating a belt because the two haven't been able to capture one in the organization. All right. Let's let that roll. But that is the one thing that you can use to have them fight your fighters. That is the one thing that you say, okay, after you win this belt, you're going to fight the real pound for pound.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me that they already said that it's only going to be a one-time thing?
Yeah, well, someone in the crowd asked...
You might as well just mail the goddamn belt to their house, man. What is that?
Someone from the press asked the question to David Feldman. He said, no, it won't be getting defended. It's just going to be a one-off fight. Yeah, we'll be doing different, similar things in the future.
Yeah, that's just... Yeah, man. That's very disappointing to hear, my brother. Let me tell you. That is very disappointing to hear before going to train, man. Very disappointing.
I wish I didn't say that now.
I'm gonna find out regardless, so it's all good.
Now
you see the frustration that I deal with.
Yeah, you've got the real belts there, mate, behind you.
Yeah.
But that, like I say, mate, what can you do? You can't do nothing, can you, unless they accept it and sign the paper. I think people just need to start getting behind you now and pushing for these fights to happen.
Look, if you go to Mike Perry's page, obviously he has more following than me, right? And you go to his page, and if you go to the reels where you see the views, right, you will see that most of his videos are like in the 50Ks, 30K, 40K, even some 70K, right? And go and look at the face-off of him and I. It's over 500,000 views, man. Yeah. That should be something for itself, shouldn't it? I mean, if we're talking about business and numbers, aren't those numbers speaking loud enough?
Yeah, like the most famous meant to be like the naughtiest violent man in BKFC facing the pound for pound best in BKFC.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
We'll see what happens after this fight, mate. Hopefully it's something that they're building for a mega fight with yourself. You never know, mate. You never know.
We'll see. I mean, look, to be very honest with you, man, if Eddie Alvarez was to some way miraculously win this fight, he's going to ride off with the belt and just ride behind David Feldman saying, yeah, I don't have to defend it. But I don't think that Mike Perry would do that. I believe that if Mike Perry gets that belt and I get in his face about it and I tell him, hey, man to man, you need to defend that belt, I don't think that he shies away from that. You know what I mean? It'll come down to the organization and Feldman, changing their perspective on this whole situation with this belt.
Yeah, definitely, mate. 100%. So what you're going to do then? Just keep active and ready in the gym, ready for the call, for the opportunity to come.
Yeah, I mean it's very frustrating, man. I've only fought once this year. This is not a good position for me, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, to be the champion that I am. I'm representing the company how I represent it. I take the fights that they give me. Look, man, when I fought Lily, I was getting ready for 2 entire months for a southpaw professional boxer, that was a former WBA world champion. And the fight got switched within 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, then I switched my entire thing to go and fight Lily. That's a big change. You don't see me complaining. You don't see me going in interviews talking, hey, and trying to bash on BK. I'm not, I'm staying quiet. I'm just doing my own work. Like, what else am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, as of right now, man, from what I hear, they're prepping a 3-fight deal for me. I don't have it yet, but we're waiting on that right now because I can't spend an entire year fighting once, not even twice. It's not enough. I'm 43 years old. My time is running. and I can't just let my talent be wasted like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm very aggravated with the whole situation, to be very honest with you, man.
Is Austin Trout still appealing to you?
So this is what I heard last from Feldman. I'm fighting February 2nd, okay, and I'm not in liberty to discuss who or whatnot, but
yeah.
To try to answer your question, I mean, Austin Trout up to now, from what I hear, is the only one that is actually still willing to fight me. You know what I mean? Whatever happened between them in negotiations, when I was supposed to fight him in his hometown. When I signed to fight him in his hometown. And I'm supposed to defend here. But I said, hey, no problem. We're going over there. We're going over there. And when they changed the fight to Miami, something from what I heard, he started asking for more money. He got funny, and then they put him on the side, and they put the fight to the real number one contender was James Lilly. But from what I hear, and actually himself, he's not backing out from the fight itself. And from what I hear, he wants to fight. So I know that I'm fighting February 2nd if I don't have, the opportunity to replace somebody in December 2nd between the Eddie Alvarez and Mike Perry fight. But it might, and most likely might be, Trout, because who else? I'm not interested in anybody else in the roster. You know what I mean? It doesn't do anything for me. And I have the right to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely, mate. Well, I know you're a busy man, mate. I've kept you for a bit long here, but is there anything else that you want to share with us, mate? Any sponsors, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, man, all my sponsors, it's very hard to especially right now, spending a year only with one fight is very hard. You know what I mean? To not do it without sponsors. I have, a whole lot of sponsors. So if I leave anybody out, they understand me. But my major sponsor, my number one sponsor is always going to be Mr. Rob Navarro from Florida Yas International. My new partner, Hugo Florido, which is my partner for my management company, Primal Instinct Management. Sativa Clinic, Arturo. Say it again, baby. Inkaholics. Oh my God! Wait till you see this ink work that I just finished with Inkaholics. My boy Gabriel from Inkaholics hooked me up. My entire back is done, and
nice.
It's something beautiful for you guys to see when I'm fighting. But we can't reveal that yet. But shout out to Inkaholics, First Step Realty Group, Young Tigers Foundation, the workout spot, my gyms, my coaches. Divino Ceviche is one of the most delicious Peruvian restaurants from Florida. And everybody else is always supports me, man. Thank you for supporting me and being a part of the journey.
Great stuff, mate. Really appreciate you coming on, Luis, and giving me your time for the podcast. And I hope you and the missus enjoy the rest of your day, bro.
You got it, brother. You got it. Thank you, man. Take care.
Hopefully we'll get these fights, mate, for the BKFC fans. Get the number one pound for pound facing all these UFC so-called champions. Get the fights made.
Yes, sir. Don't miss it. Action continues.
There we are, man. Class, mate.
That's that one spot that we have right there. One more spot. Take care, brother.
See you later, brother.
All right.
Yes, people. Nice one for tuning in there. It's much appreciated as always. Catching up with a pound for pound champ, 155 pound champ, 165 pound champ. Luis Palomino is the man. This podcast was sponsored by RSD Recoveries and Transportations. Big up my man as always, Rick Doherty, sponsoring and supporting the channel. Big love, my bro.